going on, man? It's late, May the 31st. We got one WNBA game for tomorrow, so I figured I'd do a super quick early show, just because I won't be doing a show in the morning. I already know I'm not going to be doing a show in the morning, but the Chicago Sky will be in Indiana taking on the Fever, and I think it's going to be a game worth watching for sure. It's a standalone game, of course, and I just kind of wanted to jump into it real quick. So that's what I'll do. I won't be here for long, but if you find the show helpful, do me a favor, hit the like button for me, and let's jump into it real quick. Tonight, it's been a really good WNBA night, man. We had the Atlanta Dream plus the 9. I talked about these earlier on the morning show as well. Atlanta Dream plus the 9, and the Dallas Wings plus the 8.5. Dallas Wings almost won outright in Connecticut. Atlanta did win outright as a 9-point home dog against the Las Vegas Aces. So 2-0 day, we almost make a unit and a half, and it's back-to-back winning days, 5-0 in the last 5 bets, and that's great. The minus 1.78 units in the WNBA should be a plus 1.78 units because we have hit, I think, 3 straight WNBA bets now. So, definitely looking to kind of keep that going. Let's jump into the one game that we have for today, man. For tomorrow, we have the Chicago Sky. They will be in Indiana taking on the Fever. The Fever are getting 3 points as home dogs in this game. And the Chicago Sky come in laying 3 points as a road favorite. This will be the first time that the Sky have laid points on the road. They did lay points against the Sparks. That was at home. They were laying 4.5. They won that game outright. I think they won by like 7 or 8. And I think they won by 10 just 2 nights ago. So both of these teams coming off one day's rest as well. And this is the Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese rematch. We know that they, kind of went at it. If you follow them throughout their college career, playing in the championship game a couple years ago. And I think it's going to make for really good theater. Like I said, standalone game here. So let's jump into it. So first thing that we have to mention, always looking at the injury report. The Indiana Fever played their last game on Wednesday night without Eric Wheeler. She missed that game for personal reasons. She is expected to be back. They also played it without Fagbagley. I think is how you pronounce her name. Fagbagley is how you pronounce her name. She means a lot, man. I honed it on it, and another reason why I kind of like Seattle so much. And she's a major piece. Ever since she's been in the starting lineup, she's actually the only player in their starting lineup to have a positive plus minus. So I think with her not being there, that definitely does help. It hurts the Indiana Fever a lot. She will continue to be out for 2 to 3 weeks. And on the opposite side, Chicago Sky, they actually get Cardoso. She's expected to make her WNBA debut. She's been upgraded to probable, and they kind of circled this date on the schedule for her to give it a go. So that's even more depth that the Chicago Sky have at the rim, and this is already a really good defensive team. So not just off the injury report alone, already not sounding good for the Fever. The Fever also opened up as 1-point dogs, opened on DraftKings yesterday. And you kind of want to jump on these lines. For people that are new to WNBA lines, especially early in the season, you kind of want to jump on these lines early, especially if there's a favorite that that you like. I didn't even see the line at 1. I went back and saw that it was at 1, but when I saw it, it was already at 2.5. It had already been bet up to 2.5. Kind of difficult not to like the Sky here. I know that they're laying points on the road, but it's a short number, and the Fever have not been great. So Chicago comes into the game. They have won 3 of their 6 games, so they're 3-3 straight up. They're 4-2 against the number. All 3 of their losses, though, however, have actually come against teams that are, that I would consider playoff teams. They lost to the Seattle Storm. They lost to the Connecticut Sun, who are still undefeated, and they lost to the Dallas Wings, who, even though their injury, have a lot of injury key players missing right now, they're still really good, offensively and defensively as well, with Arike Gumbawale being the leading scorer in the W right now. So Chicago Sky's losses have been to really good teams. The Indiana Fever coming to this game 1-8 straight up. They're 4-5 against the number, and the only team that they beat was actually the Los Angeles Sparks. 3 straight losses for them and 3 straight non-covers as well. I just don't see it getting a lot better for the Fever. Another reason why I wanted to do this video early, because I do think the line is going to continue to increase. If you want the Sky, you definitely want to take them early. You don't want to wait on the line. Also want to mention the scheduling spot. So I mentioned this a couple of times when I've been talking about the Fever so far, but the Fever have played 9 games so far this season, by far way more than most WNBA teams. There's multiple teams that's only played 5 games so far. And another reason why I don't really like the Fever in this spot, because when you play that many games in that short of a time frame, you don't get a lot of practice days in between. You don't get a lot of time to adjust and talk about the things and correct the mistakes that you've made. So for all of those reasons, I still don't like the Fever in this spot. The Fever also played Caitlin Clark the entire game. She played damn near the whole game. I think she played like 39 minutes and some change. The WNBA games are only 40 minutes. She's coming off a game where she played pretty much all 40 minutes in that 15-point loss on Wednesday to the Seattle Storm. I think they play again on Sunday. They got to go to New York again to play the Liberty. But after that, they do have a nice little chunk of time where I don't think they play again until the weekend. So they get the whole next week off. And I think that's going to be super helpful for the Fever. That's when I'll look to, play them, especially when they're getting, multiple possessions, maybe something like 5 or 6. But I'm not interested in taking the Fever +3, +2. One possession games, the Fever just have not been good enough, in my opinion. So I talked about, this is stuff that I'll eventually start to share with the members. But I don't have it completely figured out all the way yet. Like the charts that I use to kind of look at the analytical data. But you can see the Sky's offense versus the Fever defense on the left side, and then the opposite on the right side. So the Fever's offense versus the Sky defense. If you look at the left side, there's a couple of different things that stand out immediately. First off, the Chicago, you got the Indiana Fever. You can see that their defense is ranked 12th. The defensive rating is 12th at 112.6. So they're not stopping anybody. The Chicago Sky is not the greatest offensive team, but if you look on the right-hand side over here, you can see that the Sky's defense is actually really good. They're 5th in defensive rating. That alone tells me that even if the Sky can't score in this game, they should at least bring it defensively. You can also see that they're 4th in opponent effective field goal percentage. They're forcing the 3rd most turnovers. All of those are the reasons why I like the Chicago Sky, because the Fever you can look over here at their defense. Look at all the red. Red is not good. That means that they rank, bottom 3, bottom 4. Effective field goal percentage, defensive rating, fouling. They're fouling at the 2nd highest rate. Points off turnovers, giving up the 2nd most, giving up the 3rd most points, second chance points, and giving up the most fast break points. And you see the Chicago Sky, they've really been taking advantage of the fast break points. They're actually the number 1 team in the W so far at scoring off fast break points. And both teams have played a pretty difficult strength of schedule. You can see that in there as well. There's no reason for me to want to take the Fever here in this spot. I'm only looking towards the Sky. And what I did was, shout out to all the members, and hopefully people were able to get this in. I actually took the Sky on. I took the Sky and parlayed the Sky early, maybe 30 minutes before the game tonight. I parlayed the Sky's money line with the New York Liberty money line from tonight, just to kind of reduce the juice. It was -142, which is honestly not a bad straight, but if you reduce the juice when I gave it out, I think you got it at -127. So that's the play that I gave out. I do think that this line is going to be, I think it's moving from 3 to 3.5 right now. And I probably do think that it closed around 4.5. I don't like the Sky as much as 4.5 because the Fever are going to eventually get it together. I don't know if it's going to be against a team that plays defense, though. I think it's going to be more against a team that doesn't play offense, a team that, may overlook this team. And right now, Caitlin Clark and the rest of these players just have a big target on their back. So I'm not looking at, like I said, to take the Fever. I think they need some time to, get some practice games in, and that's the way that I would be looking to play this game. I would still lay it. I think it's a 2.5 out there, a 3. That's the way I would play it if I absolutely had to play it right now. But like I said, the reason for the video is because I do expect this line to continue to move. Real quick on player props. It is one that I really wanted to talk about and kind of dive into, and that would be Marina Mabrey. Her points prop is sitting at 17.5. She is excellent. If you've had a chance to watch her play for the Chicago Sky, she's an absolute bucket. Probably one of the top 3, top 4 3-point shooters in the WNBA. She shoots a ton of them. Always got the neon green light. And it's not juice. -102, I think, is what I wrote down on FanDuel. She's over in 3 of her last 4 games. And she's taken a bunch of shots. She shot at least 13 shots in five of the 6 games that they played so far. And I just showed you guys. I mean, it's clear as day right here. The Indiana Fever defense is giving up the most points. Let's see, can you guys see that? The Indiana Fever are giving up the most points right here, 12th in defensive rating and effective field goal percentage. And without Bagley in there, if I'm Bagley in there, their defense only gets worse. I think they're like a minus 40 in defensive rating when she's not on the floor. So I expect Chicago Sky. I know that their offense is not great, but I do expect them to be able to score the basketball here. So I like Marina Mabry over her 17.5 points if I had to play a player prop, and I would be taking the number now because when you wake up in the morning, being that it's the only WNBA game, the line's probably going to get smoked tonight. That's the way that I would look at this one. Go through the comments real quick and see if we got anything here. I wasn't expecting people to be, to join in because I just figured I'd do a live stream maybe like 30 minutes ago, honestly. Just wanted to kind of get this out quick. Mitchell Bros says, let's get some cash. Mitchell says, good call earlier, Chris. Malik says, was able to catch AT. What's AT? Alyssa Thomas? Malik, you covered? What up, Eric? PZ says, good read, gang. JL says, I like the Sky early and often. Yeah, the other thing about the Sky, and I don't have a graphic for this, but the Fever gets smoked early in games, man. They absolutely get smoked. Remember when I talked about fading the Fever on Wednesday night, I said that the line had gotten too big because I had played the money line, but I said if you want to fade the Fever, you can fade them first half too. And the Seattle Storm were up by 6 at halftime, and that line was minus 2.5. So they continue to not cover early in games, and they typically play a little bit better in the second half, but for whatever reason against the Storm, they kind of ran out of gas. They got smoked in the third quarter. That's when the Storm kind of put them out of their misery there. Big Smooth said he cashed with Dallas plus the 8.5 and Atlanta plus 9. Like it. Malik says, should we treat them like the Bulls? Can't lay points as favorites. I don't know about that, Malik. I don't know, man. I think they can lay against certain teams, and it's how many they're going to be laying, in my opinion. I'm not willing to lay a big number with this guy, but I will take them, minus 3. I'm not going to be laying 4.5 on the road anyway. But yeah, the Sky going to continue to play hard, man. I've been saying it all season. They're going to play hard. They play together, play for their coach, Teresa Weatherspoon being there. They definitely channel her energy, and they play for her. You can tell. What up, Garrison? He says, what up, Chris? Chris says he's new here, liking the show, bro. Appreciate that, man. Definitely appreciate that. J Main says, I lost on Wings first half plus the 4.5, but everything else cash. He had the Dream plus 8.5, the Mystics plus first half plus 8.5, and the Lynx first quarter. Yeah, I'm watching the Lynx game right now, man. I kind of figured, I said team total over when I was on Cal's show earlier, and they are smoking the brakes off the Phoenix Mercury. It was it's a bad spot for the Mercury. I didn't end up making a play on this game, but I just got so caught up in the other 3 games, and I probably should have locked it in, but I was working out after I finished the shows earlier and just never locked it in. But yeah, that Minnesota Lynx team total over is definitely going to get there. They got 83 points with 5 minutes left. So first quarter, they just kind of went on a run. Love that play. Man, glad you cashed it. Cal says 11 p.m. on Saturday night. Absolutely not doing this again, Kyle. Nesbeth says, what's good, brother? Great call on the Dream. I was on the losing side with the Aces there, but I will say I am all smiles watching my even larger Lynx minus 7 ticket right now. Yeah, they came to ball tonight. But nice bounce back spot for the Lynx in this game. He says that this team plays hard and they play right. They play the right way on both sides of the ball. Yeah, they definitely share the ball. I like this Lynx team a lot, and that's best. I wish they could have did it against the Aces the other day. They lost me a couple dollars, but it's all good. Liz says Cheryl Reese versus CC. I'm tuned in, buzzing. Kyle says Chris is clearly biased against Caitlin Clark. Nah, I just think I was looking at her player prop. So Caitlin Clark is listed. Great segue, Kyle. Caitlin Clark's player prop is listed at 20.5, and I think it's plus money. She did have 20 in her last game, but I mean, you can see the Sky are a team that they have given it up to guards. I will say that. And Caitlin Clark, if she's going to play 40 minutes or 38, 39 minutes, I kind of expect her to be out there. And if the shots are falling, I mean, we know how much variance there is with the three-point shot in the WNBA. Caitlin Clark is a really good three-point shooter. I'm just not big on playing Caitlin Clark. I kind of feel like she could finish at 20, she could finish at 19, maybe she goes for 25. She did have a 30-point game not too long ago. But do I have pace numbers up here? Yeah, Chicago playing at the 5th fastest pace, Indiana playing at the 6th fastest pace. I don't really have a strong opinion. I want to say, let's see. So what you guys don't see is I do have the 3-point, the shooting zones for shooting numbers as well. Real quick, let's look at that. So the Fever let's change it to the Sky real quick. I want to see the Sky's defense versus the Fever's offense. So let's go. This will give me a good read on Caitlin Clark for tomorrow. But I did look at her prop. I saw it was at 20.5. I said, seems like a pretty sharp line to me. So the Chicago Sky are the third worst defense at above the break threes. They are allowing teams to shoot 37%, which is the third highest percentage. But they're doing a pretty good job of limiting teams from taking those shots. They're 4th and 2nd in an opponent above the break makes and second in above the break attempts. So they're doing a really good job of keeping teams out of the paint, off the 3-point line. Chicago Sky's defense is actually worse in the restricted area, so that may be a look towards Leah Boston tomorrow. Chicago Sky are last in opponent restricted area makes and opponent restricted area attempts. But they are defending it well. 3rd in opponent 3-point, an opponent restricted area percentage, only allowing teams to shoot about 56% in the paint. So I don't really have a strong opinion on Caitlin Clark, but I'm not biased though, Kyle. She's coming off a 40-minute game as a rookie. She's played more games than anybody in the WNBA. They just put her in a bad spot, man. Let's see. Kyle, you gotta relax, man. He says Fever's second in strength of schedule. Show Clark some respect. WNBA is trying to hold her down with the schedule. They definitely are. It'll be spots for her, just not right now. Chad says Marina Mabry and Dana Evans, good spots for sure. I'm going to need FanDuel to start listing. Yeah, they are listed on some books. They're definitely listed on some books. He also likes Trinity Carter. She is a baller. I like Trinity a lot as well. I'm not too familiar with Trinity. I've been watching her play this year. LeGreg says he thinks that Dana Evans is going to cook as well. I'll go with the Fever money line. Free Sauce says Caitlin over her 6.5 assists. So her rebounds and assist line, they finally caught up because you could have got it at 10.5 in the first few games of the season. Now they done bumped the line up to 12.5. Because if I like Caitlin Clark, that's where I want to play. Her rebounds and assists to go over. But she's finished right about 12 over the last 3 or 4 games. One of the reasons I'm going to stay off her here. Truth System says Marina maybe be balling. Chad says poor Kyle. Kyle also likes Angel Reese 12 and 12 in a losing effort. Yeah, I think her points prop is listed at 11.5. So I couldn't talk you off Angel Reese. She could eat. She definitely could eat for sure. Chad says I fully endorse Chris 5-0 cash today. Chad has been killing, man. 49 and 24 year to date. I know he had some winners. You lost a couple recently too, Chad. So nice bounce back for you. Glad you cashed. Malik also likes Angel Reese double. He says plus 270, light blunt money on that. Okay. Ryan says Fever starts so slow. What do you think about fading him in the first quarter? I think the Sky coming off a win could come out a little flat. That scares me just a tad bit. I typically like to play on teams that are more desperate in the first quarter. The Sky don't seem to be that desperate. They got a 10-point win as a 4.5-point favorite against the LA Sparks the other day. So I'm not too interested in fading the Fever early. But yeah, I mean, I couldn't talk you off though. I know I'm taking the Fever. So yeah, not gonna talk you off there. Mitchell says good pick on the Dream. Liberty game and Mystics went over on points. Interesting. What's interesting is that the Liberty's defense looked terrible today, man. The Mystics don't even have a lot of scores. That was pretty crazy. We got some Mabry points and Reese 6 rebounds for the Sky. What are your thoughts on the first half for the Sky as well? Yeah, I mean, if you've been following the trends, the like I said, the Fever, they really struggle early in the games. They typically play better in the second half, but not against the Storm the other day. They just got smoked. What up to my guy S Dot? He says I did not realize we had a midnight show. Cal in here talking to S Dot as well. He says the squares are into the chat. Time for us to charge the bell. Cal likes Kansas City Chiefs wins over. He says the lock of the summer. And yeah, I did see a comment about this. He says the refs are killing Caitlin. Caitlin did come out and say that the refs. She said the physicality was the thing that she wasn't expecting the most. So yeah, Caitlin Clark's been getting beat up, man. I mean, you don't get those soft foul calls like you do in the NBA and the WNBA. You literally gotta, break an ankle or something in order to get a foul call in the WNBA. They do not give you those soft calls. So yeah, that's. I mean, we've been talking about one game for a long time already. So we'll get back into the recap, man. Like I said, if you want Chicago, you want to play them tonight. See if you can find a 2.5. Like I said, I sent out to the members and played myself. I just parlayed them with the New York Liberty tonight to reduce the juice when the money line was at -142. Now I think that money line is up to like 155. But I do think that they lose the game tomorrow. I really, really do. And Chicago laying a one possession game, I think that they should cover. I do see this line already moving to 3.5. Like I said, it'll probably be 4.5 tomorrow before the game tips off. And I gave you guys the reason why I like Marina Mabrey over her 17.5 points. She's an absolute baller. The Fever played really, really fast. And she's been over in 3 of the last 4 games. And now she's playing against a defense that's a little worse. So these are the top looks for myself tomorrow. Like I said, no show in the morning. But I did want to do a quick WNBA show just because we did have a game. And I will be back on Sunday. I think it's 4 games on Sunday. Some really good games on Sunday as well, but we don't have any lines for those yet. And yeah, that'll be it, man. Resources that I use are here. Definitely check these out if you guys haven't already. And I'll just leave them there for a second. And that's it, man. If you guys enjoyed the show, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, share the show, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys are betting. Let me know if you're fading me. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Best of luck on all your action. Official plays for me. I won't have any more. But if I do go official with Mabrey, I'll send that out. But I'll probably stay off of Marina Mabrey. I do like her a lot in this spot, though. Best of luck on all your action, man. Enjoy the rest of your Friday night, your Saturday as well. And I will catch you guys in the next one. I'm out.